Everybody, it's Lynn from LynzCraftzDesignz. I've got a two-part tutorial today. We're going to do some earrings, but the first thing I'm going to talk about is clay. Now, I buy my clay from Blueberry Beads, and when you get your clay, it is really fresh. I'm telling you, this Cernet is so fresh. When I make beads, it's hard to keep the shape. It's hard to put a hole through them if they're just straight Cernet and it hasn't been leached or anything. This is primo translucent, on the other hand. Now, normally when I buy primo translucent, it, like the Cernet, is super soft and fresh. This is like a brick. So, there are multiple ways. First of all, slice a thin slice, because if you try, you're never going to get it conditioned. So just a thin slice. Okay. A thin slice. Okay, you can either put, seriously, just a tiny bit of, this is the bakeable transfer and color, I don't know what it's called now. You can't get it in this size anymore, unfortunately, which I think is insane. I should be able to buy that. With the amount of clay people use, liquid clay people use, doing these earrings, you would think Sculpey would accommodate better. Than just a 2-ounce size. I don't care if you have to charge the same amount 4 bottles of that would cost. Packaging alone would save them money. Alright, you can put a thin layer of the liquid clay, not the, of the liquid Sculpey, I believe is what it's called now. The liquid Sculpey, not the liquid clay. The transparent, clear liquid clay. Not that. And then spread it over the whole piece and let that set. Now, when I did it, I let it set overnight because I forgot about it, but okay, you can do that, or you can do this clay softener. I'm not a fan of the clay softener, actually. But same thing, just a little drop, because it's like baby oil, and spread it over the whole piece and let it set. Okay? Then you're going to have to, massage it in and all that. Okay, but since we're going to be mixing it with the Cernet, which is too soft, equivalent of a bar of Primo. Oh. Then I'm going to wrap this back up, and yes, I leave my clay in the original packaging. These little bits like this, I don't even put them in a bag or anything. But I do have a Sarnet drawer and a Primo drawer, so the Primo drawer is open right now. Okay. Sorry to be so long-winded. Now, this Sarnet, I'm just going to roll it out with my roller. The one thing about Sarnet over Primo is the Sarnet seems to be more dense, if that makes any sense. Okay, but as you can see, I mean, it's literally that soft. It's sticking to my roller, it's layering, it's doing all kinds of stuff. That's all we're going to do. Alright, I'm going to mash it in a little bit. Doesn't matter if it breaks and cracks and does all that kind of stuff. This one was Primo, I believe it was called Translucent Blue. I don't even know if they sell that anymore. But just like the Sarnet, it was way too soft, and I put the translucent in there. You can still see a little bit of the translucent showing through. Okay. Don't worry. The problem was not with my camera. It's with the operator. I continued to mash together the green and the translucent. And then I went ahead and conditioned it together. Not thoroughly. I then twisted like a rolled inclusion, twisted the pieces together a couple of times, and then rolled them out, okay? It was still a little too sticky, so I put the clay between two pieces of paper with something heavy on top. I flattened it out first with something heavy on top, okay? I think that brings you up to speed. Okay, I didn't have a heavy book, so this is copper powder, which weighs a lot. Hopefully we didn't leave it too long. Okay. Now we should have a block, a slab, or whatever you want to call it, to work with. Oh yeah. This is good. Okay, I'll do the same thing with the blue. Okay, I'll take a fresh sheet of paper, roll that out, and leave it set. But for now, we're gonna work with the green. Okay, and firstly, I'm going to clean off my desk. Hold, please. Okay, this is the Sigwong alcohol ink, and this one is in the green. Now, one of the things about green, alcohol ink or resin dye, it doesn't like to stay green in most instances. I have even been forced to, instead of using a green, use a blue and a yellow, because the green just does not stay green sometimes. It depends on brand and other things, but if you, and it's still sticky enough that it wants to stick together, which is a good thing. I say right before I tear part of it in half. We're going to separate these out, and then I'm going to coat them with the alcohol ink. Yes, I do know that alcohol inks can... Now, I'm going to coat these on every side. Now, I took them in pairs and cut them in half. Now, please feel free to wear gloves if that's something you want to do. Okay, I've stacked these two layers, or whatever you want to call it. And really and truly, I'd like it to... There we go. Okay. Something like that. Okay, I just gave it a barely little roll together. Now, we can let this set for 30 minutes or so to firm up a little bit before we cut it. And I'm going to clean my blade and my hands, and then we'll be back. Let's remember, this is an experiment. I'm gonna slice this. And I've got a clean blade, but this is really soft. So I know it will distort if I just slice. Oh, that is what you want. Okay. Now then, I'm going to roll this out on my thickest setting on my pasta machine. Oh, I'm so tempted to put it between that piece of paper. I'm going to roll it out to my my thickest setting, and then I'm going to roll it down 2 more times to a 3, which is almost my thickest setting. Okay, I'll be back. I didn't wash my hands. Sorry about that. I've put this on my silicone mat because if I put it on the tile, it's gonna stick too much. Okay, it went through the roller perfectly, like a dream. Which this would not have worked as well if I wouldn't have added that translucent to it. I wish I could show y'all. Oh, how see-through this is. Okay, now let's make some earrings. I'm going to use, these are the largest of the 3 sizes of circles. These just came from Temu. Okay. And then I'm gonna use cutters and use my hexagon cutters. Alright, let's go. Now, for these circles, let's flip this over and see what we got on the other side. Same thing. Alright. Now, these circle cutters. Now, my best instincts are something like that, where you got that rough edge. But I want to calculate it a little bit. I'm not sure what that speck is right there. And there. And there. Okay, then I've got the hexagons. I'm just gonna actually gonna go for a denser, if that's a word we can use at this stage, a denser concentration of the crackles. That's what I wanted to say. Again with my brush up against the side of the cutter. Okay. Now, I'm going to put this on my paper so it doesn't stick. Okay, next. I think I like that right there. I should listen to myself and just go for it. Okay. Alright, now with these circles. Again, I'm going to take my roller, my rolling pin, if you would call it that. Clay roller, thank you. And I'm going to force that bezel down into the clay. Okay. Then I'm going to take my craft knife, and this time it's alright for it to stick to the tile, because I want the tile underneath to cut against. Ta-da! Now, I'm going to take this piece of paper and actually transfer these pieces onto a clean piece of paper. Yeah. Now, I'll worry about the squeeze out afterwards, just because these are still so incredibly soft. $2.75 for 30 minutes. Oh, I hope these turn out gorgeous. Alright, and I'll be back. Okay. Now, I've said before, these rings do not stick to the polymer clay after it's baked. So, those will pop right off. But we're going to put a coat of UV resin on them. Now, if you're not going to UV resin them, you're going to take those rings off, put your whatever sealer you're going to use, and then pop those back on while the sealer is still wet, and let that dry. All right, but we're gonna UV resin these. Alright, here's how they came out of the oven. Well, not put together, but anyway. I was trying to show you the translucency a little bit. Let me see. Hope you can see that a little bit. Alright. Dragon veining technique. Finally, a success. Here's the other ones. Okay, maybe you can see how much more translucent they are off of the black card. But anyway, they're really pretty. I don't know if y'all can see that, but the perfect, well, not perfect, but anyway. Nice dragon veining. Alright, now I did UV resin both sides. Okay, on both pieces. So there you go. We had a success. Yay. Now as far as the translucent polymer clay goes, I do have 2 of those really hard blocks, but I'm hoping to order some more from Blueberry Beads so I don't have to work so hard. Alright, thank y'all so much for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe. Like everybody's video, including this one. Bye for now.